motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, and respect of the citizens of our city and state, and the Motorcycles of Illinois have contributed extensive volunteerism and money to national and community charitable organizations. And whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the city of Joliet and throughout the great state of Illinois. Now therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 39 years of ABATE of Illinois, recognize May as Motorcycle Awareness Month, is dated May 5th, 2026, and signed by Mayor Terry Darcy. This gentleman, he's the current president of ABATE. No? Okay. Anybody want to say anything?
Left-hand turn is the number one place that we get hurt.
Yeah.
When you make a left-hand turn. Number one thing they say, did not see him, did not see her. Keep your eyes open, please. Motorcycle Awareness Month. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, stand in front of the guy here.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you and ABATE too.
Next, we have a proclamation recognizing St. Joseph Parish, presented by Councilman Clement.
All right, we have Mary and Scott here. The father could not make it, but thank you for coming. This is in reference to the 135th anniversary of St. Joe's. I mean, most of us have been at St. Joe's many times for various reasons. St. Joe's Park, you can see the photos there. Dave Sloan from Accents Lighting did an incredible job. It's absolutely stunning. So you guys did a great job. So here's a proclamation. Proclamation. Whereas immigrants from Slovenia began to settle in the Joliet area during the 1880s to find work, raise a family, and establish a Catholic church that would safeguard their culture and religious patrimony, and whereas on May 12, 1891, Reverend Sesteric celebrated the first Mass of the newly formed St. Joe's Slovenian Catholic Parish of Joliet. And whereas by 1905, St. Joseph's Parish built their current church located on the south end of Slovenian Row, at that time north of Jackson Street, and was the first all steel and stone structure in the city of Joliet. And whereas by October 3rd, 1895, 4 years after the first church was enacted, St. Joseph Parish built and opened St. Joseph Catholic School. And whereas in 1938, Father Matthias J. Butala became the fourth pastor and began to develop St. Joseph's Park. And whereas on June 20th, 1940, Babe Ruth played an exhibition game celebrating the opening of St. Joseph's Park on Theodore Street and Rainer Avenue. And whereas a celebration mass for the 135th anniversary will be held on May 17th, which is 2 weeks from now, 2026, May 17th, 2026, with a 10:30 mass followed by dinner at St. Joe's Park at noon. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby recognize St. Joseph's Parish and congratulate them on their 135th anniversary. Signed today by our Mayor, Terry Darcy, May 5th, 2026. Congratulations.
behalf of Father John and the parishioners of St. Joseph, thank you for this proclamation.
I have to say that the lighting was Father John Hornacek's, our pastor's idea, and it is beautiful. And I hope we're around for another 135 years, lighting up the north side of downtown and the city center, lighting up the south side, because it's beautiful.
Mayor? I'd like to just comment before they leave, too. I'll tell you what, Notre Dame Te Paris, Notre Dame Cathedral, has nothing over our St. Joe. It's just as beautiful.
Thank you.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove council memo number 251-26, ordinance adding chapter 21, article 11, offenses on public property, to be voted on at the May 19th, 2026 council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. I do have a few people signed up. We'll start with Dan Wexler.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Dan Wexler, and I'm here on behalf of the Indiana, Illinois, Iowa Foundation for Fair Contracting, representing Operating Engineers Local 150 and our signatory contractors. The amended Rock Run Crossing Agreement is not simply a vote to advance a development, but in fact is a stronger protection package for the City of Joliet. Approval of this resolution gives the city stronger leverage, enhanced accountability, and greater safeguards. The amended agreement puts Joliet in a stronger position. Incentives are earned only through performance. The developer carries more of the risk, shifting much of the risk, especially financial responsibilities, away from the city onto the developer. The economic upside is also significant. This project has the potential to strengthen Joliet's regional draw, expand the tax base, and support permanent employment in retail, hospitality, entertainment, maintenance, and operations. Those are jobs and revenues that can continue long after the construction phase is complete. But the value of this project depends on more than what gets built. It depends on how it gets built. That is why the project labor agreement component is so important. A project labor agreement brings stability, skilled labor, apprenticeship opportunities, and consistent labor standards to a project of this size and complexity. It ensures the work is performed safely, efficiently, and responsibly. For Rock Run Crossing, a project labor agreement is not a secondary consideration. It is a core safeguard for delivering the project safely, efficiently, and responsibly. For those reasons, we respectfully urge a yes vote, and I thank you for your time.
Okay. Marzell Richardson.
Hey, Council, how you guys doing? Marzo Richardson from Richardson's. I have to say, Friday night was amazing. Thank you guys all for showing up. A couple things about the square. The social part of it, the social district of it, I think would be a great thing to add to downtown. It sets us apart. We have a lot of unique events going on downtown. And I also think they would enhance people coming in. They can't do it in other neighborhoods or cities. You can come down here to do it. With that being said, being right outside or inside the city square, Richardson's is the first thing you see. And we commit to keeping that good light in Joliet. since you see us first. But I do see some things that could help. That drive path, I see, which was great. We saw a lot of kids playing, but we also saw cars coming in from both ways. So to keep this pilot program going, starting and going, and hopefully turning it into something permanent, I would think some kind of, I know there's signage, but it's not working, maybe cones at the entrances or something like that to keep people from coming in both directions, and also stress that it is not a road to use as a regular road. Besides that, I think it's a great idea. The city has been great working with us thus far, and I'm sure we will continue this great partnership. And that's it from Richardson's. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Tiffany Hernandez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to address several concerns that were raised last night at the meeting for the repair shop at 370 Ruby Street. First, there were comments about past issues with new businesses on Ruby Street not having adequate parking. I want to clarify that our property includes a parking lot with space for approximately 25 vehicles, which we do not anticipate needing to use all those spaces at once, but the capacity is there to ensure that the customer and service vehicles remain on our property, not on any street. It was also mentioned that the vehicles have been left on the street, creating congestion and safety concerns. From what we understand, these concerns appear to stem from one ongoing business with Central Mufflers, not our business. Central Mufflers have limited on-site parking, which has resulted in cars being parked along both sides of Ruby Street, on Center Street, and at times even on the sidewalks. We agree that this creates a dangerous situation, and we have personally experienced difficulties due to their overflow of parking. We were also compared to other businesses, such as Broadway Auto Body and Central Mufflers. However, these comparisons are not accurate. Broadway Auto Body operates in part like a car dealership, displaying multiple vehicles for sale in addition to repair work. Central Mufflers, as mentioned, has very limited space. Our operation is designed specially to keep all vehicles contained within our own lot. Another concern raised was the police were reportedly present at our property on Saturday due to vehicles being parked improperly. We take this claim seriously. Police officers were not on our property. We believe there is some confusion and that this incident may have involved Central Mufflers rather than us. It was also stated that our property lacks parking, which it does not. We fully understand and respect the community's concerns about parking and safety. However, we want to be very clear. We have never parked vehicles on the street, and we do not have to do so. Our business model and property layout are specifically designed to avoid contributing to the issues currently affecting the area. Finally, we acknowledge that our special permit is on not becoming a nuisance, but fully support the condition, and we are committed to complying with all regulations. At the same time, it raises a fair question as to why ongoing issues with other businesses have not been addressed in the same way, especially given that multiple residents have reportedly filed complaints. We are committed to being a responsible and respectful addition to the neighborhood. We will continue to work closely with the city to ensure that traffic flow, parking, and safety are properly managed. We respectfully ask that you consider the distinctions between our business and others in the area when evaluating these concerns. Thank you for your time. That's it.
Michelle Arana.
Sorry, I'm going to have to read it. I can't see you guys, but I need these. So. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City staff. My name is Michelle Arana. I'm the very proud owner of Internode Greenery and Home located at 81 North Chicago Street in downtown Joliet. While I appreciate the city's efforts to create a social district, as this type of initiative is proven to support small businesses, increase foot traffic, and enhance the overall visitor experience in downtown districts across our country, I would like to express my concern about the proposed requirement that limits participation to businesses with full commercial kitchens. While I understand the intent, this requirement unintentionally excludes businesses like mine that already hold a City of Joliet liquor license and are certified by the Will County Health Department, such as Internode is. Internode has met the city's standards to responsibly serve alcohol, and we actively contribute to the vibrancy of our downtown through our retail store, creating special events such as the Chicago Street Farmers Market, and my service on the Joliet City Center Partnership Board of Directors, along with multiple committees. Under the current ordinance, not only are we excluded from participating in the social district, we would also be placed in a position where we must monitor and restrict customer behavior more heavily than neighboring businesses, despite operating under the same licensing authorities. This creates an uneven playing field and introduces operational challenges, including the need for additional staffing simply to enforce boundaries that do not apply to other nearby businesses. More importantly, it may discourage future businesses such as wine bars, tasting rooms, or other specialty beverage concepts from investing in downtown Joliet if they're unable to participate in initiatives like this. Across the country, social districts have been implemented successfully in a wide range of communities, and there's a strong overall impact, economic impact, when participation in these social districts is inclusive. I respectfully ask the council to reconsider the full kitchen requirement and instead evaluate participation based on existing liquor licensing and regulatory compliance. Doing so would not only support a more equitable business environment, but would also encourage growth and investment in our downtown. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, that's everyone who I have signed up. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Okay, seeing none. Under appointments, the mayor is recommending John Simpson, Peg Stoiber, and Deborah Summers be reappointed to the Joliet Arts Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, we have council committee reports. We'll start with land use and economic development.
Good evening. So Land Use and Economic Development Committee met here yesterday, Monday, May 4th, 2026 at 3:30 in the City Hall Council Chambers. In attendance was Councilwoman Ibarra, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. We had the approval of the minutes, and then we reviewed two agenda items, starting with agenda item TMP 9751, a resolution to authorize a TIF incentive agreement with Matisse Events LLC at 113 North Ottawa. It's in regards to a fire suppression system that is necessary for the additional square footage. He's requesting $79,500 to help fill a gap in between the cost of the suppression system, and staff has reviewed the request and determined that the proposed improvements are eligible under the downtown Joliet TIF district redevelopment plan. So we unanimously voted to approve to bring to council for a full vote with our support. And then next we had a TMP 9846, a resolution amending and authorizing the execution of an amended and restated development agreement with Cullen and Joliet LLC for the Rock Run Crossing Development Project, which we will have a full presentation on that here tonight, so no need for me to kind of start going over that. So, Councilman Mudrin, Barra, did I miss anything?
You got it.
Yep. Mayor, that'd be my report.
Thank you.
Legislative.
Okay, legislative met on April 29th, 2026 in the council chambers here. In attendance was Councilwoman Sherry Reardon, Councilman Cardenas, and myself, Jan Quillman. Also in attendance was Corporation Counsel Todd Lindsay, Deputy City Manager Krista Desiderio, Development Director Dustin Anderson, and a lot of other planners and directors were also here. If I name everybody, we'll be here a long time. So just so you know, everybody was here. We had 3 items on our agenda, the first item being the city square ordinance, and we voted on that, and I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but that was brought to vote, and it was unanimous vote, Mr. Cardenas and Sherry Reardon and myself. Number 2 was the offenses in City Square. That was also discussed at length, especially with our attorneys, and that was also brought to a vote, and Cardenas, myself, and Ms. Reardon, we all voted yes unanimously again to go with that. And last but not least was the proposed social district. This will be a 6-month pilot, so nothing is written in stone as of yet because we want to see how this is going to work. And again, we all voted on that as well, and it was unanimous to go to the city council for future references and see how this all works out. And you can get all this online, right, Todd?
You will. I don't know if it's there right now. We had some technical.
Okay, with all the details that you, because everything is a very long paragraph, but very informative. So if you want more information, eventually it'll be on our website. And anything else?
No.
Okay, all right. Thank you. That concludes our report.
Thank you.
Public safety?
Thank you. The City of Joliet Public Safety Committee met today here in the council chambers at 5:30. Present was myself, Councilwoman Coleman, and Councilwoman Ibarra. We approved the minutes from April 7th, 2026. There were no citizens to be heard on any agenda items. Under agenda items, Fire Chief Carey was here. The purchase of interior wall painting and sanding services for Fire Station 1 and Fire Station 9 from Smith Painting Services in the amount of $67,062. The painting is well over 20 years old, and they're going to patch and paint, and so that all 3 of us approve this to move forward at a later date to approve this at a council meeting. There were no ordinances on the resolutions. Resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding (MOU) between the City of Joliet Fire Department and the East Side Joliet Fire Protection District. Basically, how Chief explained it is, there are times that it takes, usually 6 to 10 minutes to get to the far southeast side of Joliet, and this is an agreement with East Side Joliet Fire Protection District. At least we can get East Side rolling there, and we'll continue to be en route. And we just want to be able to get our equipment and personnel there to take care of any issues. There have been times where we've had a train go by there on Washington Street, and it just kind of slowed things down. Is that accurate, Chief? Okay, all 3 of us were in favor of this, moving it forward at a later date to the full council. Next, resolution approving a intergovernmental agreement with the County of Will for the placement of license plate reading cameras located on county highways. Basically, we will have the authority and agreement with the county to place these flat cameras on county highways. All 3 of us were in agreement, and we will move this to a full council for approval. Then a resolution requesting authorization to enter into a regular 2025 Justice Assistance Grant intergovernmental agreement between the City of Joliet and Will County. These are federal dollars that come to the county and then would come to the city. I believe, Chief Evans, you said last year we received $50,000, and it goes to good use. So all three of us were in favor of this, moving it to the full council. I want to go back real quick. Jan Coleman had a question about some movement. I guess it's Plainfield Fire Protection District or Plainfield Fire Department. They are trying to acquire some property by the mall. There's nothing formal at this point, but that is moving forward. You want to add on anything like that? Or?
Well, that's why I was asking about, because I haven't heard anything for a long time.
Yeah, there's
It
nothing
was still in
formal
works.
on that at this point, but she did bring up the question. I wanted to just talk briefly on it.
The thoughts are still out there, though, from the report we received.
Okay.
So, see where it goes.
Yep. And then on our new and old business, Councilwoman Coleman brought up, and it was in the paper. We gave a bunch of accolades to Bill Evans, our police chief, who is going to retire. I can say that now, right? It's public? Okay. We just want to thank you publicly, all the great work you did, and we wish you all the luck moving forward.
He still has another meeting, I believe, don't you? Yeah.
Well, this will be the
Pushing him out the door, hang
no,
on.
public safety. Public safety. Last one for public safety. Other than that, there was no new or old business. In addition to that, there were no public comments, and then we adjourned. Mr. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you.
Okay.
And finally, we have public service.
Always finally. So we all got to get our singing chops up for the next meeting so we can sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Right, Chief? The Public Service Committee met yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon here in council chambers. And that would have been Monday, May 4th. In attendance on the committee is Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudden, and myself. We had 6 contracts. The largest contract was for almost $1.9 million, and it's for the Campbell Street Water Tower Rehabilitation Project to Era Valdivia Contractors Incorporated. The all-weather, the protections covering, coatings, have reached the end of their lifespan for that, so we have to preserve that water tower, do it again, and it's not cheap. In addition to the $1.9 million, $159,000 was given to engineering, which is less than 8% of the total project. The other 5 contracts varied in the amount. Just a reminder, all committees, including our Public Service Committee, can be found online, just like the City Council and pre-council meetings. There are no videos, but there's audios and there's written minutes. You can always go over them. Everything on our Public Service Committee meeting is on tonight's agenda, and we briefly went over them yesterday, so I won't be redundant. So we looked at the 6 contracts. We found them all to be in order, bid appropriately and legally, and we unanimously moved them forward to the council with our recommendation to approve. Then we also looked at a required membership in the Lower DuPage Watershed Coalition in the amount of about $25,000. Again, we unanimously approved that to be moved forward with a recommendation for the council to approve it. Under the ordinance and resolutions, 3 of them are all part of the Grand Prairie Water Commission, or the alternative water switchover we're doing in 2030. And so it's kind of like housekeeping under the contract as we move towards it. 2 of them had to do with us giving them easement and right of way to put in the connection between the water from the commission coming from Lake Michigan, where it's going to then, if you will, ownership will turn over to the city of Joliet, and under the agreement with the Grand Prairie, all communities, including Joliet, have to provide that space. Again, we looked at the 5 items under there, which are all found on tonight's city council meeting, and we found them to be in order and unanimously approved to move them forward with committee recommendation to approve. Other than that, I have nothing else. Pat?
Nothing.
Then that means, Mayor, that's our report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting April 20th, 2026, and the city council meeting held on April 21st, 2026 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 233-26, award of professional services contract for roadway mapping and pavement analysis, condition classification to Cyclo Media Technology Incorporated in the amount of $190,950. Council memo number 234-26, award of contract number 2975-0426 for the Public Utilities Department generator purchase to Metropolitan Industries in the amount of $349,302. Council memo number 235-26, award of contract number 2976-0426 for the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant final clarifier repaint to Dynamic Industrial Services in the amount of $327,600. Council memo number 236-26, award of contract to number 2977-0426 for the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant final clarifier slide gates installation to Dom Mechanical Industries Incorporated in the amount of $68,888. Council memo number 237-26, award of contract number 2979-0426 for the Well 18D rehabilitation to Great Lakes Water Resources Group in the amount of $220,907. Council Memo Number 238-26, approve payment of the 2026 membership dues for the Lower DuPage River Watershed Coalition in the amount of $25,140.08. It is recommended Council Memos 233-26 through 238-26 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under agenda items, Council Memo Number 240-26, Award of Contract Number 2961-0226 for the Campbell Street Water Tower Rehabilitation Project to Era Valdivia Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $1,893,000, and award of construction engineering services agreement to Dixon Engineering Incorporated for the not-to-exceed amount of $158,950. It is recommended Council Memo Number 240-26 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo Number 242-26, resolution amending and authorizing the execution of an amended and restated development agreement with Cullen and Joliet LLC for the Rockland Crossing Development Project area.
Good evening, Council. I'm proud to say that great things keep happening in Joliet. After 18 months of working together, this amended and restated redevelopment agreement before the Council will tie incentives directly to performance, attract a major anchor with Dick's House of Sport and all the retailers that will follow, put Rock Run Collection on track to be the first of its kind destination for shopping and dining at 55 and 80, the crossroads of America. I'd like to thank city staff for their diligence in working with our expert to negotiate the best agreement for the city. I would also like to introduce our experts here today that will be here to answer any questions you may have. First is David Riefman, who was our lead negotiator and long-term development attorney. Wave, David. Randy Coulat, who is our bond counsel. And Jillian and Samantha, who are here from SB Friedman. With that, I will hand it over to Kevin Singh, our finance director.
Good evening. Just to recap on some of the points from last night. So the development, once again, is at 300 acres at Interstates 55 and 80. It included a new interchange at Interstate 55 and Route 59, and is currently home to the Hollywood Casino, 900 square feet of industrial, a Chipotle. There are 264 apartments under construction, with completion expected in August of late this year, as well as a Ricky Rockets and Drury Inn hotel under construction at the site. Amending the agreement, the amendment of the agreement, first off, rebalances our risk from our original $100 million bond that financed the infrastructure at the site. In fact, our risk is being reduced by $16.2 million just by approval of the agreement. We were also to add requirements for performance and penalties for non-performance. Cullinan will go through the mix of retail and restaurants that are made possible by this agreement. And then also tax revenue will be higher to the city of Joliet at $234 million between now and 2044. And then I'm actually going to turn it over to Vince Corno from Dick's House of Sport.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor Darcy, members of the council. Honored to be here tonight, and couldn't be more excited. I will tell you, I'm a resident of the Chicagoland area, and this one is a pet project of mine. We really want to see this come together, and you are on the cusp of approving a path forward for a world-class mixed-use development that includes among the largest retail developments ground up in the country. Just figured today we would give you a preview of Dick's House of Sport and what it is and where we're going with it. This is not your mother's or father's Dick's Sporting Goods. We've had a long history in the city of Joliet. We've been very appreciative of that. The store is very successful. that usually is an attribute that leads to our interest in doing something at this scale. Perhaps what I'll do first is just kind of go through the conceptual genesis of a House of Sport and how it came together. Ed Stack, who is a very inspiring leader, he's our executive chairman. He's the son of the founder of Dick's Sporting Goods. Started with 2 bait and tackle shops in upstate New York. I got out of undergraduate and decided that he wanted to go to law school, and his father put a kibosh on that very quickly and said, no, you're not going to law school, you're going to help with the family business, and this is what puts food on the table for your younger siblings, at number 4. In any event, so he was very frustrated, but then he embraced it. In any event, he's grown the 2 upstate New York bait and tackle shops to 750 Dick's Sporting Goods across the country. He's very inspirational. He's always looking around the corner. He always wants to understand where the competition will be coming from in the future. So about 10 years ago, he gave the charge to a senior leadership team and said, look, I want you to come up with a concept that will put every Dick's Sporting Goods out of business. And hence, here we are 10 years later with Dick's House of Sport. There are presently 34 of these in the country. Joliet would be the beneficiary of having one of the very few ground-up prototypes that we're building. A lot of these are taking the form of retrofits of empty department store boxes and in enclosed mall settings. I'll touch on that in a second. But this is something that is entirely different from anything that we've done. It's a paradigm shift. He's trying to, the mission that I get drilled into my head every day, he wants to reposition the entire real estate portfolio of Dick's Sporting Goods, so we are going to be market dominant for the next 30 years. So with that, I'll just go through a quick PowerPoint presentation here. So again, Dick's House of Sport, a typical Dick's Sporting Goods is about 50,000 feet, which is the one that we have with you in your community today. We more than double the size. It's 120,000 feet on 2 levels. This really is geared toward the evolution of retail. I think we are one of the most forward-thinking retailers out there, bar none. The experience is an important element of this. So another key component that you see to the left of this photo, this aerial, a couple of elements. That corner glass enclosure houses our climbing wall, so you can come in and actually climb a wall inside the store environment itself. And then we have an outdoor component called the field. Presently have 15 of those across our portfolio. So not every House of Sport gets a field, but it's an important and integral part of our mantra here. And it's been almost kind of surprising, almost by accident. Initially, the field was conceived to be 17,000 feet of AstroTurf with a track around it, very, very high quality surface. And the idea was, if you come in and try on a pair of soccer cleats and you want to go, you want to see how they really feel in the field, you can go out on the field and kick a soccer ball around, or you can throw a baseball around, try out a glove. So it was almost initially conceived to be sales support more than anything. Turns out that it is really the crown jewel of our community outreach. So these fields basically serve as venues for birthday parties, yoga classes, summer camps for kids. We'll have celebrity appearances. Local Russell Wilson, who was then the quarterback of Pittsburgh Steelers, was throwing passes to kids out on the field in this store here in Ross Park. So in any event, the field is an important component here. We would have a field that would have a very prominent position right along the freeway, so this would be a real beacon for the community, for the project, and then for Dick's Sporting Goods. $14 billion in sales for Dick's business, or just the Dick's business. We acquired Foot Locker last year. You may have read that. That added another $8 billion to our top line, so we are big and continue to grow. But again, we're relentless in trying to strive for perfection in terms of retail. This is a House of Sport that we did in Binghamton, New York, which is the home of Dick's Sporting Goods. This is where Ed Stack was raised. This was a former Kaufman's department store that was basically an empty anchor in a dead mall. A local friend of his in the community said, just bought the mall, Ed, would you do a House of Sport in our community? And we did. So we transformed that particular box. We built the field, as you can see there. Interestingly, that ice rink there is one that we do with select locations in cold weather climates. It's really yet another means by which we reach out to the community. That particular ice install, it's interesting. The developer who owns the balance of the mall said, Ed, do you mind if I put a big Christmas tree out there first Christmas that we were open? And so, sure, no problem at all. So it really has turned into Binghamton's version of Rockefeller Center. People go there, public ice skating sessions, the kids get out there and they practice ice hockey. mini mites. It's not a full NHL regulation sized rink, but nonetheless, it's a very important amenity. We have a lot of fun with it. Another interesting story to show how demanding it is. I don't know if you can see the window that's above the rink there. We were walking the store literally a month, or maybe a little bit more than a month before the grand opening. And that was a back of house portion of the store. And Ed said, wouldn't it be cool if we could do some type of window so that parents, when they come to watch their kids practice hockey, could watch from inside where it's warm up above the rink. So everybody got together and we got it done. We got that window installed in record time. And that's now an architectural element of the store everywhere we're going. As I mentioned to you, interactive experiences are very important. Elevated service, high heat product. One of the secrets to this particular model is that apparel and footwear, there's been a convergence that we've seen. You know, you look at societal norms have changed over time. You know, it was going to be a long time when I was in law school 30 years ago that I would ever think that I would go to a city council meeting in anything other than a blue suit and a button down and a tie. So I think what that's done is really provided a tailwind for us. A lot of the fashion trends that you see lend themselves toward the athletic footwear and apparel. That's a big component here. And it's allowing us to get brands that we never really would have even dreamt of even 5 years ago. And I'll touch on that in a second. The interactive experiences are very important, though, as I mentioned with the field. A couple of other elements. We have a batting cage. The batting cage is not a baseball batting cage. It's computerized so that you can play anything. You can play lacrosse. You can shoot soccer balls against the best goalies in the world. So it's a very important element. One other thing I wanted to mention that is kind of cool. We're always challenging each other to come up with new and innovative ways to retail. One anecdotal thing that we're doing in our stores, we're using RFID technology, which are the chips, and you put it in the merchandise. And initially it was, you know, the intent was to track the merchandise more accurately in your inventory. But we have parlayed that into a marketing tool. And so we have these displays in houses of sport where you can go up and it's a screen, and embedded in the screen are different shelves. And on each of those shelves is a different shoe, an athletic shoe. And it's called Lift and Learn. You can go up to this fixture and pick up the shoe, and the screen will automatically start to tout all of the attributes of that particular merchandise. You know, it'll give you the 360 degree. It'll show you the technological advancement. So it's that type of thing that we're incorporating in our stores. Another thing that we're doing is what we call our Dick's Media Network. We built a complete infrastructure behind all of the Dick's Sporting Goods stores. And when you go into a house of sport, what you're going to see is a high level of LED displays. We use them on all of our fixtures. And that's all centrally controlled. All the content is centrally controlled. And it's a really cool way to promote within the store environment itself. So this is something special. This is something that nobody else, I would challenge, that I don't think anybody else in the business is doing it. And as a result, we've seen very pleasing results. We've seen other retailers say, wow, if you have a Dick's House of Sport, I'm in, because it's that special. So this is the rock wall that I mentioned earlier, glass enclosed. It's a very prominent architectural feature of our stores. Kids can come in. There's a bell at the top there. It's you know, we're in the business of memory making in this environment, and this is a core element of it. There's the field. There's the ice rink. Golf is Ed's favorite sport. He's a scratch golfer, and as a result, we have a big golf presence in these stores, including putting greens. There's new technology out there called Putt View, where that you can actually get on a green that's inside the environment, and you hit a ball, and the ball will be tracked by lasers that are up above, and it'll show, you know, the path of your ball, and then the prescribed path to get the ball into the hole. Pretty cool stuff. Hit tracks. I mentioned the batting cage. That's an important element. And here's a quick video that just gives you a feel for the store. It is not like anything you've seen before. So that captures it. That you really have to see it and feel it to really get the full effect, but we're very proud of it. A few things that might be of interest to you all. I mean, obviously, when we're building at this scale, the market draw is much greater. The geographic area that we capture is much greater. The visits are much greater. These slides illustrate a number of these concepts. Perhaps most importantly, though, and I think we have established ourselves as a leader in the industry. So with this commitment to this project, will be a host of other commitments that you'll get from other retailers that want to be around us because they recognize the traffic that we'll generate for the shopping center. We create jobs, the visits, the dwell times are up. This is a slide that captures just some of the names. Viore was a big one just recently. Arc'teryx, we've got a huge relationship with Faraday, Gymshark, first time in the United States to distribute through bricks and mortar retail is through us. On Running, we were one of the first partners with On Running to bring that brand to the United States, and that has been tremendously successful. Chubby's, you start to just go through this, and a lot of these brands kind of blur the line between athletic footwear, athletic apparel, and fashion apparel and fashion footwear. One interesting new idea that we had, this was the genesis for this, is when Paul Skeens came out of college and he joined the Pittsburgh Pirates. There was such a buzz, and Topps trading cards, what they do is a rookie card with the patch that he actually wore on his first pitching engagement, and he signed it, and there was a big lottery, if you want to call it that, where they put one of these cards in a pack and put it out there, and there was a frenzy surrounding it. Everybody wanted to try to get this card. Anyway, a kid in California ended up getting it in his pack, and he had an option. You could keep the card or you could sell it. And so he decided to put it on the block, and we paid a lot of money for that card, and we brought it back to Pittsburgh because we thought he's a Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher. It should be in Pittsburgh. In any event, we prominently displayed it in the store, and then we were really surprised by all of the interest that this card generated. So it prompted us to think entirely differently about the collectibles business. And we're in the card collection business in a big way. If you would have told me even 3 years ago that we'd be selling Pokemon cards, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's another interesting element for our store. Gymshark, I mentioned, we have these collab spaces, we call them. We designated a portion of our retail floor area on the front of the store, and we do interesting and creative things. We have among the most creative merchants in the business I've ever seen. I've been in the business for 35 years. And this collab space is really where we feature new and brands that are coming in from around the world. If they don't have a footprint in the United States, this is a great forum for them to be able to demonstrate their wares, and it's been tremendously successful for us. We have had a meaningful impact on existing malls. This is really almost, what's happened is when we come in and there's an empty anchor, Sears box, and an empty mall, you activate that anchor, naturally the mall becomes much more active and the sales increase. So that's going to be a continuing theme. We're starting to see as we get more of these open, more of this data coming in, it's a very, very real fact. Mall sales go up, traffic goes up, and in this particular case, it's ground up, so we will be the primary draw. Right now, we're up to 34. This was an older slide. Got a couple more opening up before FIFA World Cup, one down in Arlington, Texas, right across from AT&T, where we're hopeful that there'll be a lot of soccer fans coming into our store and buying jerseys. But we're delighted to be here. It's a privilege. I want to compliment your leadership. There aren't many leaders in this country, not many communities that are as forward-thinking as you all are. I know this is a big step financially, but no one else has stepped up to do this, and I think you will have the envy of many mayors, if not all the mayors across the country, when this is up and running. I think you're going to have people coming in from across the country saying, I want one of those, how do I get it? Because there's just not a lot of this activity going on. Compliment to Diane. She, without her vision, without her persistence, we wouldn't be here today. And Mayor Darcy, as I mentioned to you, I'm always going to remember that meeting in the trailer when I had my boss and you were there, and we were destined to go to another location, and your persuasive skills were very good. You were spot on. So thank you for doing that. This is our Boylston Street location, right at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. So we're trying it in urban settings. So it's you know, this is something that we're very proud of. 34 today. We're going to get to 75 to 100 of these by 2028. This will be the first prototype that we'll do ground up in all of Chicagoland. We will have other houses of sport given the size of the community here, but this will be a crown jewel. It will be exactly like we want it because it'll be ground up. So with that, I guess I'll turn it over. Maria.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and City Manager. I'm Maria Toliopoulos, Chief Strategy Officer for Cullinan Properties, and I am excited to share with you what will happen once we build the Field of Dreams that Vince just described, and what it will do for the mixed-use development known as Rock Run Collection in the city of Joliet and its community. As you can see on this slide, the new Dick's House of Sport will be located in the area highlighted in yellow. This will provide exposure from both I-55 and 80 and will be visible during the day and evening with the lit field that Vince described. In addition, Dick's House of Sport will serve as our key retail anchor, which will put the city of Joliet on the map as a nationally recognized super-regional destination. Approving this agreement unlocks Cullinan's ability to push forward with the significant amount of retail development highlighted in yellow, joining the over 1 million square feet already completed or under construction at Rock Run Collection, which includes the Hollywood Casino at 170,000 square feet, the adjacent free public parking deck for 421,000 square feet, approximately 900,000 square feet of industrial development, and the View Residences, clubhouse, and garage, where over 117,000 square feet are complete and residents have already moved in. In addition to what's already open to the public, we are also under construction for an over 100,000 square foot Drury Hotel with 180 guest rooms and a 15,000 square foot Ricky Rockets that will join the already open Chipotle and recently announced Culver's and Chick-fil-A that Kevin alluded to earlier. This demonstrates real momentum and real investment, and that the project is actively happening today. In addition to what I've already highlighted, we are ready to move forward with 300,000 square feet of retail construction this summer. This will bring the total new construction opportunity to 600,000 square feet and advancing the master development to 1.3 million square feet. But this is not just about buildings on a site plan. It's also about the significant economic impact to the community through job creation. The total master development will be responsible for 8,000 construction jobs, resulting in over $510 million in wages, as well as 5,000 permanent jobs with $200 million in annual wages. These permanent jobs span across retail, hospitality, and other service sectors and provide the community with opportunities ranging from entry-level positions to management. In order to make this happen, we need scale and we need an anchor. As a result of the draw that Dick's House of Sports brings, we have over 50 national and regional retailers that are contingent on Dick's House of Sport anchoring the project in order to come. This group of retailers represents a diverse mixed-use environment comprising of traditional retail, ranging from junior anchors, soft goods, and home furnishings to higher-end lifestyle and apparel brands. There will truly be something for everyone. The dining category will include a diverse mix of restaurants from quick serve to fine dining, catering to both daytime and evening weekend traffic. The Drury Hotel will bring guests from out of town when they're visiting the casino here for business or making a strategic stop along the way to participate in all that Rock Run Collection and Joliet have to offer. We're also focused on entertainment as well as public spaces to provide placemaking opportunities for the community. And for the local community, we will be bringing various health and wellness retailers as well as everyday services and conveniences that not only serve the local community but also provide an opportunity for local retailers and businesses to grow and capitalize on the foot traffic and draw that the national and regional tenants and Dick's House of Sports brings to the project. As you heard, Cullinan has invested in the infrastructure which unlocked the site for access, visibility, and viability, and attracted Dick's House of Sport as an anchor. The approval of this agreement and the partnership amongst the city of Joliet, Dick's House of Sport, and Cullinan will bring significant retail from dining to lodging, shopping and entertaining to both serve the community, but also to attract new residents, young professionals, and employers to consider relocating to a first-class project that has already gained national recognition and will shape Joliet's economic future and regional competitiveness. Thank you, and I'll now turn it over to Kevin Singh for additional context around the redevelopment agreement.
Thank you. So just want to review a little bit about the financial requirements of the redevelopment or the new agreement. The first part is we wanted to make sure that the city was protected. It's also important to note that the payment of incentives will come from taxes generated on the site, not from the city as a whole. We also tied the payment of incentives to the opening of stores, binding contracts, and vertical construction. We also accounted for, in the off chance that the project does get delayed, the incentive would be reduced annually starting in 2028, and that retail was of a high quality and had sales of $350 per square foot. A little too far. Part of the financial components is we are repurposing money that was included in the original $100 million bond to create a payment reserve to create additional safety net for the city. The new incentive is structured as a reimbursement and paid on when revenue is being generated to pay back the incentive. And the new agreement is has performance-based incentives that are paid only if the project is successful. Additional benefits of the agreement is a much faster pace of development with retail opening sooner. More revenue to the city, as I mentioned earlier, about $237 million in addition to bond payments will come into city coffers between now and 2044. And then jobs were touched on with 8,000 construction jobs with a payroll of over $510 million and 5,000 permanent jobs with over $200 million annually in worker wages. And additionally, the site will become a regional destination. Thank you.
Mayor, Kevin, could you briefly explain the city's 20% share?
Yes. So our share of so first off, the revenue from the site gets generated. We then make bond payments. The city gets to keep 20%, and then the rest go to fund those incentives that I mentioned that are, if the site is successful, once those are paid off, we receive 100% of the revenue. So
the bond gets the first payment, and the city gets the second payment.
City gets the second payment, so we'll collect over $41 million before the developer gets some additional funding.
And I want to take a moment here because people are familiar with the representatives from Dick's that were here. They obviously are from Dick's Sporting Goods. They understand the Cullinan representatives, where they're at in this table. They know where the mayor and everybody else is. SB Friedman was mentioned, and they're a consulting firm after my own heart because they're very conservative. There's consulting firms out there. I remember when we brought them on some years back. There's consulting firms out there that will tell you whatever you want to hear. SB Friedman will tell you what's going to happen.
Yes.
I do want to say that all the estimates and projections we've done on this, if I understand it correctly, is at an 80% occupancy.
Correct.
So if we go 100% occupancy, which is very likely, it goes up even further.
Correct. Yeah, we wanted to account for making sure, real world scenarios through SB Friedman, that they accounted for retail turnover, that only 80% of the square footage would be paying taxes.
And then the last thing I wanted to get before you sit down, folks sometimes misunderstand, the TIF and the tax incentives. Okay, so you have all this extra potential tax money. You're not collecting it because it's given to them, therefore everybody else pays the tax. That's not how it works. They are taxed. It goes into the TIF, and then they can draw off the TIF if they meet certain requirements within the TIF. And when we do our levy, we do not include any dollars that were put into a TIF and any value of that property. So nobody's making up for any lost revenue.
Correct. It's actually created as a separate district. Does not have any impact on the city's levy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Can we have questions to Dick and Solomon?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's vote time, right?
Can I ask a few?
Absolutely.
Okay. For Dick's, if I didn't understand this, thank you. So we are getting a rink.
That has not yet been determined. We don't put rinks in every one of the houses of sport. That will be a later date before we would decide on the rink.
So it's not a no for sure.
It's not a known. It's not a for sure. It's not a known for sure.
You want to kind of investigate the market to see if it.
Correct.
And I can tell you, there's a lot of hockey fans
I
and
know
young
there
kids.
are.
Trust
I know
me,
there are. I'm a
in
St. Louis
Joliet
Blues
area,
fan. I
Will
painfully
County.
know that well.
Okay. What will happen to the current Dicks over on Route 30?
That too has not yet been determined. We're still in the very early stages, but what I would tell you, what is commonplace when we surrender a 50,000-foot store that is near a house of sport, there's obviously the larger volume that we would do in the house of sport generates a lot more clearance merchandise. So we have a concept called Going, Going, Gone that has backfilled a number of the Dick's Sporting Goods. In fact, that's pretty commonplace. So I think that certainly is a possibility, but it's not yet been determined either.
But it could be a clearance store, kind of like a factory direct that some people are familiar with.
It could be, yes.
Okay, so when will we know that?
It'll be later in the deliberations. I mean, I think we start construction this summer. It'll be in the next 12 to 18 months. Certainly, we will have to make a decision with that real estate.
Okay, and then when we talked about the retail draw of the Dick's House of Sports, I understand that this is the first round up, but we have other ones. Some don't have the fields. Let's talk about the ones that do. What's the typical foot traffic? What's the typical draw? How many bodies do they? I don't have that off the top of my head, but I will tell you it is a material draw in and of itself. And as I mentioned to you earlier, it really has become a community focal point. Another example, I talked about the yoga classes, birthday parties, celebrities. The Pittsburgh Penguins in the rink that you see right there would hold camps for the kids. We also, would in the case of the Binghamton location, the local university, SUNY New York, they basically didn't have enough time on their fields for the intramural program, so they would come over after hours and use it. So it's almost a quasi-public amenity as we see it, and almost by accident, because again, this was supposed to be, try before you buy. This is a sales support amenity more than anything, but it's really panned out to be a really nice partnership with the communities we're in. And how many do we currently have in Illinois? Is it 4 or 5?
Houses of sport?
Yeah.
One under construction in Woodfield, Schaumburg, which is a retrofit of a large DSG that we have there. It pre-existed, and it was a big building, so we're in the process of converting that, but no others that are in this far along in terms of development. We are in discussions pursuing a house of sport in Orland Park as well, but that too would be a retrofit. It wouldn't be a ground up.
And I think my last one will be it's kind of baiting, and that's okay. This could be you or Cullinan. So we talk about the retailers that typically follow you, and I understand, we all understand that some retailers, until it is either approved or not approved, right? If this is approved, how quickly can we expect to start hearing some of the names of the other retailers?
I would defer to my friends at Cullinan to provide you the timing on that, but what I would say to you, and we really appreciate the timeliness of the City Council's consideration, because with the approval tonight, you put us in a position to be able to go to Las Vegas. We have an annual convention out in Vegas. It's called the International Council of Shopping Centers. It's one of the largest conventions in Vegas. May 18th, so the next couple of weeks we're going out. In fact, I'm bringing my boss, Ed Stack, with me on this trip out. Everybody in the business goes out for this, and to be able to go out and unequivocally say that, yes, we're done with the city, yes, we're done with Dick's Sporting Goods, will put Cullinan in a pretty strong position to be able to start to nail down those commitments and go public with the identities of those that would follow us.
And if you had to choose one, which Dick's House of Sports right now that's been built and obviously has the fields and all that is closest to what you're imagining for Joliet? Where would that be?
There's really very limited in terms of ground up. We did a conversion of Dick's Sporting Goods in Polaris in Columbus. I'm trying to think Columbus, Ohio.
And Polaris.
Polaris is a shopping center. It's on the north side of town. But if any of the council members would be interested in coming, we'd be delighted to have you come tour our Ross Park flagship. That's where the sausage is made, so to speak.
Well, I'm kind of giving a spoiler alert because now people can do a Google Earth search and see who popped up around the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All right.
I think if you talk to some of our landlord friends in the business, though, they're thrilled. And again, we only have had 10 of these that have normalized, have been open longer than a year. where we have a data set where we can even start to say the before and after, what it looks like. But I will tell you that it's clearly demonstrable that when we come in, the before and after is pretty dramatic in terms of the foot traffic that we're generating in the shopping center, in terms of the sales performance, not only our store, but of all of the other retailers that are in the enclosed mall environment. It is a real synergy that you get.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Cullinan, can you answer the question? He deferred to you? I won't let you off the hook.
Yeah, no, I know. So obviously we can't release names, but we do have executed PSAs. We have executed leases. We have leases that are contingent on us being able to move forward, countersign, and announce with this deal because we can't fulfill the obligations under the current agreements until we get this deal done and ready to go. So we are in a really strong position to actively move forward on the construction that we talked about based on the fact that we have those leases, kind of in our back pocket, ready to go. And so we really need this deal to move forward to start the domino, which will then obviously keep everything else moving. As Vince also mentioned, we have ICSC coming up in less than 2 weeks, and that is a huge opportunity to be able to focus on getting additional retail into some of those other locations where we've really been concentrating on, under the redevelopment agreement, the lifestyle and the power center.
And it's my understanding that to do their due diligence and their analysis, SB Friedman does have knowledge of this.
They do, but they're under a confidentiality
Exactly, an
agreement.
NDA,
Yep.
but they do have it, and they kind of gave us a conservative thumbs up. They are the unsung heroes of this process.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mayor, my final comments will be this. I was a little hesitant at first, when we first, right? We're looking at another 37 million. And my wife is frugal, I'm cheap, okay? And so I depend a lot on SB Friedman. I really do, because they're just as cheap and conservative as I am. They're a great firm. As it came together, I grilled a lot of people. Kevin can tell you, he had to use his handkerchief and wipe the sweat beads off as I grilled him in his office. We drilled really deep on this. I will say this, the gentleman, what was the attorney, David, is that his name? David, you did a great job in negotiating this, that I see this. That not only goes in a newer and better direction, it does take the old agreement and it tightens it up quite a bit. It tightens it up. This is a better agreement than the original one was. I have to tell you that. So I was slow to come to the table, but once I did all my due diligence and bothered a lot of people a lot of times, this is a good project.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Joe
Yeah.
asked first. I'm sorry. No, you get-
I just want to thank Diane Cullinan
Oh, there you go.
and her team. This has been in the making for a while. And I want to thank Dick's House of Sport, the city of Joliet. I want to thank Beth and your team and all the city employees, city staff that helped answer a lot of the questions that we had. We had a few meetings. I'd still like to see Tommy Bahama come. That would be a little outlet over there. I think we spoke about that. But again, very, very exciting project. We have the mixed use over there, industrial, residential. Hollywood's there, and this is just going to take off like crazy. So, but thanks again for coming to Joliet. So,
yeah, I just have a few quick comments. As far as the city goes, it reduces our risk. We're in a safer position than what we were in the old deal. We're holding the developer to performance-based incentives, and it's going to bring a lot of local jobs. And this is definitely a great project. I support it, and thank you to city staff, Dix and Cullinan for making this happen. And my only concern may be, my kids are probably watching this and they're like, hey, now let's go spend some money over there. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I think I can support it. So thank you.
Mayor, a second. So I think for the man from Dick's, the owner of Dick's, would you mind coming up to the mic for a moment, please? And thank you for coming to the city of Joliet. It was a great presentation. I want to point out that you want to be involved in community, and this is probably for the Cullinan properties. We have someone here from Tomorrow Starts Today nonprofit, Geron Neighbors. He has a bunch of underprivileged youth that go to his youth center 5 days a week, and I'm sure this is a place that he would love to take the kids. So I'm hoping we can make connections like that. He's in the back with the glasses on, raise your hand. We can make connections like that and make things happen for the people who can afford it, and for the people that can't afford it. It would be great to be involved in community in that way. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely. We are very active in charitable initiatives that support sports, and Ed is impassioned by it. You know, he has he tells the story, if I may, when he was working in a store and a young kid came in, and basically I won't do the story justice like he does, but in any event, the kid tried to steal a baseball glove and started to run out, and they caught him in the parking lot, brought him in, and he was crying. And Ed's father, Dick Stack, went up to the kid and he said, "Why'd you try to steal the baseball glove?" And he said, "All I want to do is play baseball." And Dick Stack looked at him and he said, "You know something, son?" He said, "You can take that glove, go pick out a bat, and go pick out a ball, and never steal again." And you know, he tells that story with passion, and it really inspired him for the rest of his life. You know, to make sure that those that can't afford to play sports are afforded the resources to be able to do so. But we will be very active in that regard.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
I just want to welcome you. I'm so excited for this to come. I've been just every meeting we've had, it just gets me more excited to see this. This is just going to explode. But I was telling my staff at my office before I left today, you know, you guys are going to know about it. It's at our council meeting tonight about Dick's House of Sports, and they're like, "What is that compared?" You know, so we pulled it up on the internet and we're looking at all the pictures, and they were all like, "Wow, this is amazing." And my one male in the office, he says, "Wow, I wish I was young again. This is great." I'm like, "You're 28. I think he can do it." so he's excited as well.
We sell fashion too. We sell that fashion.
Well, thank you very much for investing in us.
Well, no, we're delighted to be here, and thank you for your consideration. Any other questions before I sit?
No, just a nice comment, if you may. I have been on this council quite some time, okay? And many, many years ago, we were supposed to put the Bridgetown Mall, which I told you when we had met. And me, more than anybody up here, have been waiting a very long time to get that property with a mall and sports and everything that you can, theaters, everything you're going to put out there. And I just cannot wait for this to happen. And it was worth all those campaigns just to keep this thing going so that we could get something out there. So thank you very much, and everybody, I'm very excited, and I knew someday this would come. I'm just glad I'm still here to join in the celebrations.
Stars are aligned. There's not a better piece of retail real estate in the country. I mean, Crossroads of America really captures that, as Beth said. It's great real estate, and you will be proud.
Mayor? Can I?
Anybody else?
Can I?
Caesar?
Yes, I just want to comment, again, as a city of our size, you know, we get a lot of big projects that, you know, we get approached with, and there's a lot of hard decisions that we have to make, and sometimes these big numbers, it's hard for, you know, us to understand and or the general public to understand. And I'm, you know, appreciative of our staff and all the trust that we have in our staff to make sure that we vet these projects and making sure that we're protecting the taxpayer and that we're getting this stuff done. But this is just another example of, you know, our city manager and our staff and everyone and their due diligence that they do, and also the access that we have to experts, right, that help us in checking out these agreements. And, you know, I'd love to hear, like, we know we have David Reifman here with us, was help a big part of the negotiation on this, and just your opinion on this agreement, amended agreement, and where we stand today on it.
Thank you, Councilman. I think it's an excellent agreement for the city. We had two objectives going into this, which was first to make sure that we secured the deal for not only Dick's, but for all the other retail that has to come with it. So it's not just Dick's. I think that's a very important point, that in order for the city to be obligated to make any payments, there's also an additional 350,000 square feet of retail and hotel that has to go into this center. It's a whole holistic project. And secondly, it restructured the original agreement, which, you know, didn't give the city the type of leverage that it should have in a situation like that. All of that's been kind of put back on track. Everything from the original project will be built, as well as all of these new things. So the city has remedies, the city has penalties if there's no performance. So I think it's an excellent agreement for the city, and I'm glad that I was a part of representing you. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, just to just to put it out there, right? We're still the third largest city in Illinois, and we're gonna continue to grow. And so when they compare us to a lot of other communities of what they do or don't do, I think we're trying to set the pace and show and lead by example of what we can do to lead in a great way. But I'm excited for this. I think in today's retail, people have their opinion about retail, but like in one of the slides where you said, the chairman said he wanted to put something in front that would put us out of business, and that's a great way to think, right? So people today are looking for experiences, so being able to go try on the shoes, the days of shopping online are still there, but at the same time, I've ordered plenty of things where I just have to keep returning them because they just don't fit. So having that option of being able to then now go try stuff on, try it out on the fields, try it on the golf, turf and whatnot, is going to be exciting. Like Councilman Moreno said, being able to take the kids to do something as well and make a day of it is going to be great. So thank you for choosing Joliet, and thank you to the staff.
I'd be remiss if I didn't tip my cap. I'm in front of a lot of municipalities across the country, and bold leadership results in bold results. And I think that what you're doing here is bold, and it will pay off in dividends that you can't even imagine. There aren't many folks that are out there developing super regional, ground up mixed use developments in the country, and this will be a case example for many municipalities across the country as to how to do it. And I compliment you on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just wanted to tell him, you like to weave a story. You tell some good stories. So I got a story for you that might make you cringe, might make you cry. Councilwoman Quillman reminded me of it with her comments. Jan, you'll remember this, right? We had the failed, what was it called, the bridges or whatever it was called, and it was vacant.
Bridgetown Mall.
Remember when that company came about 8 years ago and wanted to build warehouses there and turn it into a logistics?
Yeah, remember
And they were
what it
offering a
was?
lot of money up front to do that. This council stood firm and said, no,
It
patience
was
is
Ross
a virtue.
Perot that wanted to put warehouses up in.
Right, and, which was fine for his company, actually, we have a partnership with them, but that wasn't the right place. But, we passed up several $1 million in their incentives to get that done back then, because we said there's something better, and then this happened. I will tell you one thing, you're in a weird city. If you're going to, thank you, Councilwoman Ibarra, for bringing it up, the interaction with, if you go to schools, right, remember, not all schools in the city of Joliet have Joliet in their name. Plainfield schools are part of Joliet, some of them. Troy schools are too. So if you need direction, so we make sure, otherwise you're just looking at, like you have Joliet Central High School, it makes sense. Joliet West High School, it makes sense. Plainfield South is in the city of Joliet, and it serves Joliet residents. So we have three districts, grade school districts, and 5 high school districts that serve ours. So when you start doing your benevolence, remember to include all of them.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thanks, Vince. I'd like to make a couple final comments. If anybody else wants to speak, go ahead. But every morning my wife and I read the Bible, and I try and garner some wisdom from Solomon. So in Proverbs 15:22, he says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. And I got to tell you, January of 25, Diane Cullinan and her team, myself, Vince Corno, and Ed Stack came to politely tell us that they weren't going to come to Joliet. And after, I don't know, we're probably in there a good hour just kind of going back and forth and what would it take and how do we do it and what could we see, and the no's turned into a, well, let's take a look at it. And the collaboration that has put this opportunity together is something I've never seen before. I've been on national councils with General Motors. I've been in a lot of things, but I really love this one. And, first I have to say thanks to the Cullinan team, to Diane. You had the vision to put that interchange in and the perseverance to push to get it done. I mean, you had people as high as Senator Durbin jumping when you asked them to, but you got it done. And that was the emphasis of getting this project done. And the morning that we sat in that trailer and we heard no a couple times, it was a soft no. And we turned that into a lively conversation. And I really have to thank Ed Stack and Vince for continuing to pursue this idea. And we had an open house at the casino a while back, and Vince invited, you know, I call him the Pied Piper of retail. He invited many of the national retailers, and I can't say the names either because I don't want to go to federal prison for 6 months, but I don't want to break the NDA. But it was very impressive, and the passion he put into this project, I think, even started to sell him even more on this idea, because they are a leading retailer. They're so innovative that this is really a first in many places. And we're so proud to have your passion and your perseverance to help us push this thing to the end zone. I also have to thank, you know, Kevin and our staff. You know, again, it takes much counsel to do a deal like this, and many hours are spent. You know, it seems like everything just all of a sudden comes together once, but there's a lot of time and effort, and there's a lot of legal wrestling that went on with this, but it worked out as a win-win for everybody. So I really have to thank the staff of S.B. Friedman and our staff here at the city, and Dave Reifman. He's been monumental in helping us, and Diane, your legal team was fun to work with. Not always fun, but we got the job done. And I really want to commend Beth Beatty. Beth Beatty came here as one of 4 finalists as our city manager applicants. And one of the things I heard her say was that she was used to working on complex deals. And I got to tell you, to take a deal like this apart and put it back together is a complexity. And then you pull together the best counsel you can find, the Dave Reismans, the S.B. Friedmans, and then everybody wakes to the call and everybody understands the job that has to be done. And it was a lot of fun, I got to say. One of the most fun things I've done in a long time. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the residents for allowing us to do something like this for the 150,000 of us that live here. And we're going to be a regional draw for everyone. But we're here for the best of the city. And I thank this council and everyone involved in making this decision tonight. And I got to say, this path was cleared in a way that we all understand completely. The complexity is now a simple project that we need to put together. And we're committed to work with moving this project along. We know that it's going to be monumental to get 300,000 feet built in an 18-month window, but we're prepared to do it. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's involved in this, and we are so grateful to kick this off, have you go to ICSC and make it happen. So thank you very much. I think we should run the vote now. Anybody else got anything else?
Okay, it is recommended that a resolution be adopted.
I would recommend, thank you for saving this for me, to approve this, this ordinance. Thank you so much. A lot of hard work, long time waiting again, but I would move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Actually, real quick, I thought about it.
You had your time.
One more time. Look, hey, Vince. You know, since Joliet's going to be monumental, or it is monumental, and this development is going to be extremely successful, you know, maybe you can talk to Ed, maybe moving headquarters down here to Joliet.
Thank you. That's a great idea. I love that.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Absolutely aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
We think. Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 243-26. Resolution to authorize a TIP incentive agreement with Matisse Events LLC at 113 North Ottawa. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 244-26, resolution approving an easement agreement for the water delivery structure and between the Grand Prairie Water Commission and the City of Joliet Quaternary Delivery Structure. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quimmen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 245-26, resolution approving an easement agreement for water delivery structure by and between the Grand Prairie Water Commission and the City of Joliet, Joliet Secondary Delivery Structure. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 246-26, resolution amending 3 agreements between the City of Joliet and Will County for American Rescue Plan Act funded projects. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 247-26, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Grand Prairie Water Commission and the City of Joliet, establishing a joint improvement agreement. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 248-26, resolution accepting an easement agreement for the Railroad Street Water Main Improvement Project with Hawkeye Land Company in the amount of $40,000. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Thank you.
It's a motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen.
Aye. That was next.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Jumping ahead here.
Councilman, Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo number 250-26, ordinance adding Chapter 21, Article 11, governing the general use and accessibility of city square property. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillen.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 252-26, ordinance amending the Joliet Liquor Code by adding a social district to Chapter 4, Article 2, Section 16, liquor permits. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or
Yes.
questions?
Can I have a second?
Yeah.
I do not, I really want to see this happen, but I do not in good faith think that I can allow my business customer, business constituent to be left behind, who was recruited to come here to the city of Joliet, hung on by her fingernails, trying to make it work for her family, and leave her behind in all of this. So I'm shooting my shot to see if there is anything at all. Since we determine the liquor codes, we can additionally determine this person that desperately wants to be a part of that. And I don't know, I'm shooting my shot to see if there's any way that can happen.
The ordinance, as written, took a lot to get in. It's a pilot program that goes for 6 months. So the way we wrote this is kind of a test case. At the end of the 6 months, we can reevaluate, but what we're trying to do is test to see if this works.
So
I think if it's the will of the council, we can definitely look at it. There are legal reasons why we put the restrictions in, is what Todd's trying to say, but it doesn't mean that we can't bring it to council in a couple of weeks or in a month or whenever to evaluate that. So it's really up to the council. I would recommend passing it for this evening, and I can commit to you that we will work with her. We have been working with her. We arranged a whole liquor license around her. So I don't know why we couldn't help further if she would agree to come to the table with all of us.
I'm going to talk to the liquor commissioner, see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Mayor, were you done?
Yes, thank you.
Mayor, yeah, I mean, we brought it up yesterday. We did not want to leave you out or others. I don't want to hold this up. It is a pilot program, like you said, Beth. We could bring this back when we think. You know, I got a bunch of other ideas, but we're just not going to be able to do it tonight. So, but I'd like to move forward, get this going, and then we'll build on it. So.
Mayor, I agree too. I think I'd like to move it forward today, but if we have the opportunity to talk about it some more and maybe bring it back in a few weeks or a month, whatever it takes, I would agree with that.
Mayor, can I ask the city manager if we cannot make her wait 6 months, but try and figure it out in a shorter period?
Absolutely. If she'd like to
Okay.
come in, I mean, immediately we can have the discussions. I know Krista reached out to her a couple of weeks ago, so we're happy to sit down whenever she's available.
Mayor?
Thank you.
And that's great. That works for you, ma'am? Okay. What I will say is, just to stress it, this is a pilot program. This is a test run. We're going to see whether we'll have it at the end of the 6 months. We may vote not to. Or whether we tweak it. Or whether it's such a great model and we find a space somewhere else in Joliet that we need to do the same thing, if that's possible. These are all possibilities down the road. You know, this is just a test run to make sure it goes well enough. It's in progress. It's a work in progress.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think we're all good.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 253-26, ordinances associated with the approval of the Rock Run Crossings Lifestyle Center subdivision. Ordinance approving a preliminary plat for the Rock Run Crossing Lifestyle Center, P-4-26. Ordinance approving a recording plat for the Rock Run Crossings Lifestyle Center, RP-5-26. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 254-26, ordinances associated with the development of Rock Run Crossings Drive Phase 2 subdivision. Ordinance approving a preliminary plat for Rock Run Crossings Drive Phase 2 subdivision, P-2-26. Ordinance approving a recording plat for Rock Run Crossings Drive Phase 2 subdivision, RP-3-26. Ordinance approving a plat of vacation for approximately 1.7 acres of Quartz Drive, V-1-26. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 255-26, ordinances associated with the development of the Shale Road subdivision in Rock Run Crossings. Ordinance approving the preliminary plat for the Shale Road subdivision in the Rock Run Crossings, P-3-26. Ordinance approving the recording plat for the Shale Road subdivision in Rock Run Crossings, RP-4-26. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Yes.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 256-26, ordinance approving a variation of use to allow an indoor and outdoor commercial recreation facility, a B3 general business use, in the RB Restricted Business District located at 749 Humboldt Road, ZBA 2026-10. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah, Mayor. I think it's Mike. I spoke to you earlier. Do you mind coming up to Mike and just explain a little bit of background of what you're doing there and just the history of the scuba stuff? I know we had a good combo before it, so.
How you doing? I'm Mike Peterson, the owner of Dive Right In Scuba. My lawyer, Kathy.
Kathy Wesson, represent Mike.
So one of the things that we're looking to do, and we've been in business for 20 years in the Plainfield area as well as Orland Park, one of the largest dive shops in the world, actually coming right here to Joliet now as we needed some bigger space, and our swim program, the Swim Advantage, is going to be moving from Orland Park to here with a bigger pool at the Gallowich, formerly Gallowich YMCA and everything, and we're very excited to really get going here, and I know Dix is kind of riding our coattails of us coming to town.
Absolutely.
That's okay, we get that, you know.
They heard about you.
They can sell all the stuff to the people that we are getting activated in sports and everything. So, you know, we'll be doing scuba, swim, the basketball courts. We have a local organization, No Mercy Travel Basketball, is going to be renting the court space for basketball to really grow their program. And then we've got 12 acres in the back of grass for mixed use with baseball, football. So it's going to be really cool to continue the legacy that the YMCA created and spark something different in the area as well.
So you will have swim lessons for the public?
Correct.
Okay.
And your kids too.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Awesome. You answered all my questions.
Mayor.
Yeah, thanks for choosing Joliet. Great idea. Great to have you here in the city.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Councilman Moreno, will you have any money left after you leave Dick's?
Probably not.
No, I won't.
All right,
Gotta buy one swimsuit.
Now, you guys, I want to be clear on this. The
He's gonna
YMCA
go to
was
going, gone.
The YMCA was nonprofit. Am I correct on that? Okay. These are for profit. They'll be back on the tax rolls. Okay. And just briefly explain why we need to make the zoning change so people watching understand that.
Dustin, talk about zoning.
I love land use, Councilor Huck. So this is a variation of use. So a variation of use asks the council to consider approving something that's okay in one kind of district in a different kind of district, which means we can say yes in other places, but we're asking special permission to say yes here. So that is what's before you tonight. This indoor-outdoor recreation use is a by right use in the B3 zone, which is your basic commercial. As the Gallowich YMCA, as a legacy zone, was a restricted business. So staff supports this use here, and administratively, we are recommending the issuance of a variation of use to allow this.
And does the outdoor version, indoor-outdoor, that's part of the reason why we need to rezone it, right?
It's an approved use in the B3 district. This particular parcel resides in a restricted business district.
All right,
Yep.
thank you. And then welcome to Joliet.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And you did say you're coming from Orland Park, right?
Yeah, we're going to keep that store there too, though, but yeah.
Oh.
So we'll have the location here in Joliet and Orland Park as well.
Well, they may be the golf capital of the world, but we're the scuba capital now.
Now you definitely will be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Wish you luck. Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 257-26, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow an automotive repair facility located at 370 Ruby Street, ZBA 2026-18. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
Mayor, if I may, I went by there today, and I'm going to ask for a table because it's very, very crowded, and you can't tell the difference between their business and the muffler business. There was cars all over, and I understand right now that Ruby Street's under construction, and it's kind of a mess right there. But I would like to see a traffic study done before we approve this or disapprove it. It was quite the mess out there today, and it's very difficult to get in and out of there, and I don't know when Ruby Street will be done, if they'll be able to turn left on Ruby Street, because that's a very difficult turn. That seemed to be the only egress from that property. But to be fair, I think we should really look at a traffic study around there with all the cars and differentiate between the two businesses.
Mayor,
So I'm going to ask for a table.
I've been by there a few times. I was by there this morning also.
So was I.
And Tiffany, I'm speaking now, Jan.
It's all right.
Tiffany, I believe, is correct in the muffler shop had all the cars parked on the street, not quite onto the sidewalk, but was somewhat blocking the entrance off of Ruby Street. They do have more than enough parking on their property. I do have a question, I think, for Dustin. I'm a little, I don't quite understand the Center Street issue. I understand the corner where you wanted some green space, some new sidewalk on Ruby. What was the requirement coming up Center Street?
Sure, I'll describe the site plan a little bit. The conditions that staff is recommending for the site improvements of this parcel include removing the asphalt at the northwest corner of the parcel, which is at the corner, the southeast corner of Ruby and Center Street, to clear the cone of vision. So you have clear sight lines, both coming off and coming on to Ruby and Center respectively. Removing the asphalt across a large swath of the northern part of the parcel along Ruby Street, because right now it's completely paved. The whole site is impervious. So one of the conditions of approval that we're recommending you consider is the inclusion of some pervious surface, both to clear the cone of vision at that intersection, and also to control the ingress and egress off of Ruby Street and Center Street. So with the improvements to that southeast corner of Center and Ruby on the northwest corner of the parcel, there will be enough area for an ingress egress onto Center Street that will be controlled. So if you drove past today, I don't know which direction you traveled to and from, but you'll notice that on Center Street it's a zero drop entrance. It's just flat. Street's flat, sidewalks flat, parking lot's flat. That will be changed if you approve this as well. So there will be a clear differentiation and a clear entry and exit to that site from both Center and Ruby Street.
The Ruby Street today is a little different, but are you saying they would have then two entrances on Ruby Street?
There will be one entrance on Ruby Street and one entrance on Center Street for two total entrances.
Today that would have been an issue because the muffler shop car was parked a quarter of the way into one of their entrances. But,
I don't doubt it for a second.
That's a different issue. Yeah.
It is, and to be fair, you know, we received some feedback as staff last night on another parcel on Broadway. I shared with a council member. We did go over there, and this is something else that we're more than happy to stay on top of as well.
Thank you.
Mayor? Yeah. Question, Dustin. I think you just referred to that. Yesterday, we talked to the petitioner, had come back, come here some time back and gotten a special use for a different business, a truck tire repair business, and there were certain restrictions and requirements for that special use, and you said you weren't here when that was issued, so you would check into it. Have they met all the restrictions and requirements?
I just want to be clear. Are we talking about the 1101 Broadway right now?
Where's your truck tire repair? That's not her.
I think there might be a conflation of two different parcels that have similar challenges. There was at 1101 North Broadway some discussion about there was at one point in 2021 contemplated a truck repair. There was at one point in 2023 an auto sales contemplated with a special use that was granted by council. And that parcel accurately does have some challenges that we are addressing even today, right now. So I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you tell me if I'm wrong. you're trying to get at a follow-up to what we talked about yesterday.
Correct.
If there is a parcel that is in compliance. So the short answer is they're in compliance with the special use, but they're not in compliance broadly, and we're taking remediation steps on those non-compliance items.
So if I may add to that, Mayor, I went by there as well this morning. And in the back of the one little building, there's a vinyl fence, and there's like rows and high tires above the fence line towards the back. And the front, they had well more than 12 cars. People were working on cars. There was cars parked on the sidewalk. And that was just this morning. And then just before the meeting tonight, the owner called me and said, oh, what's going on? And I said, look, how many times have I talked to you? How many times have you called me? And this has been a nuisance, and you haven't fixed it. And you keep saying you're going to do it, and you haven't done it. And he says, well, I'll get on it right away. So maybe we can just follow up with that. I just want that information out there. But that's not what we're talking about today, but that's what we were talking about yesterday. So, did you go over there too?
Mayor,
think
hey
so.
Dustin, for this, what's in front of us today, obviously I know that there's certain things that they have to do before they're approved, right? So, we have a yearly inspection, right? Of building inspections that people go through. You get what I'm saying? Kind of.
We don't inspect every property on a yearly basis. For a parcel like this with special conditions, we do monitor that with the resources that we have. And a lot of it is, hey, did you look at this? And we verify that they're still in compliance. Or there might be an additional request from that business owner, and we go back to check compliance before we allow them to move forward with another application. So it's not like the residential rental program where there is like we issue a permit and you're good for X period of time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. Just real quick, if it does get approved today or whatever happens, I would like to see enforcement on the street parking. People park. I know we have it. I don't know if anybody can see it, but so we have the lines, and I actually drive by there quite often sometimes. People park like all the way up to the corner of the street, to the intersection, I should say, and we have it marked off to where you cannot. So and also in front of the grocery store. And it's dangerous. I don't want to see someone get run over or something later on. So I would like to see enforcement on there for the parking tickets or something. And so, yeah, that's my comments.
I think that's fair, and I think that our police department is incredibly collaborative and a good partner with our neighborhood services and our zoning inspection. So I think we're well equipped to execute for you.
One more question, Dustin. With what you described where there was the zero, depth that just goes right from the parking lot into the street, by making these changes, will this give a more clear delineation to where the entrances and exits are so that people would not park there? Obviously, it's an entrance.
Yeah, that's a great question, and absolutely it would. It would make a visual, clear delineation of where you can and cannot park and drive. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mayor. Were you done?
Yes.
So in reference to 370 Ruby, the petitioner, she's saying she's not going to park any vehicles on Center or Ruby. So that's a plus. The problem we're having over there is the muffler shop. So Dustin, now you're on board. You took care of you're working on that issue on Broadway. I'm very happy. We're not going to talk about it, but you're doing a great job there already, so I'm happy about that. I think the same thing can happen here and the muffler shop. I think we just have to get on it and have our police department issue some tickets, and we can go from there. That's what I believe. I think this could work.
I think compliance with the law is a good baseline expectation.
And the bottom line, if this gets approved, they won't get occupancy until they improve the property to the specifications that our staff has put together with them, correct?
Yes.
Thank
We have a first and second. You
No.
asked to table it?
We
There was no
there was
second.
no
We didn't vote on it, we just talked about it.
There was no second
was no
on the
second.
table.
I
Was
didn't
there a
vote to
motion?
table.
Okay, so it's the main motion we need to go
Was
to.
there a motion to table? I didn't catch a motion.
Well, what I said was, I was thinking about tabling this because I wanted a, traffic study, and then everybody just started talking, so there was never a motion made to go with that.
All right, so we need to move on to the main motion.
Okay. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
I'm gonna hold you to this, Dustin. Okay? Because I really wanted to table this, but now that we have everything out in the open, what the problems are with the mufflers, and cars and everything, and I will vote aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
I will be brief because we've heard a lot tonight. So I was able to attend a number of community functions since the last council meeting, including the Banks Bridal Suites ribbon cutting and Joliet Public Library Black Road Branch Open House with some of our other council members. We had some amazing local events last week as well, including the Big House Ball Game and City Square opening. Sounds on 66 was our first event out at City Square. We will have a larger event on June 18th for a ribbon cutting, so encourage everyone to come out for that. May is National Historic Preservation Month. We're doing daily social media features throughout the month focusing on Joliet buildings and areas of historical and architectural importance. Yesterday was International Firefighters Day. It's a day to honor firefighters and remember those who have died in the line of service. Please join me in thanking our own Joliet Fire Department for all the work they do for our community. The Neighborhood Hero Award program is officially back for 2026. It's a program to celebrate residents who show exceptional pride in their property and contribute to the beauty and spirit of their neighborhoods. Nominations are now open and will be accepted through Monday, June 8th. That's all I have.
Next, we have public comments. Any comments on non-agenda items this evening? If there is anyone who would like to address the council this evening on a non-agenda item. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and council members and staff. My name is Diane Matter, and I reside in Joliet. Wow, not sure where to begin, so much to tell you guys, but let's start with yesterday. April 4th, the force was really with Love's Truck Stop. Thank the Lord no one was hurt. It could have been a catastrophe. A 20-ton excavator hit a 2-inch plastic high-pressurized natural gas line, which led to a shelter-in-place for residents in the immediate area. 911 was called. The fire department showed up. There were 15 NICOR trucks that came to the rescue. It was very scary. They finally were able to squeeze the line to stop the pressurized gas from escaping. While that was a close call, it took many hours to fix the problem. They didn't leave until 11:30 last night. Some of the workers, NICOR was left earlier. If that wasn't enough excitement for you, here's more. On Wednesday, April 22nd, around 10 a.m., the fire marshal came out to inspect Love's Truck Stop development. We were informed that everything was fine at Love's Truck Stop, but he failed to see my neighbor's driveway that was left with the 2-foot drop overnight. What if there was a fire? I commend him for his efforts, and I thank him. On that same day, shortly after the fire marshal left, a representative of OSHA showed up. We were just entering the dangerous part of the road when we encountered the OSHA-vested representative. We were shocked. That's the biggest and baddest people to come visit your development. You seriously do not want OSHA to show up anytime. Allegedly, violations were found and they were fined accordingly. There were times I just had to leave my car on the road and walk to my home. I just turned off the car and left it there. What was I to do? I needed to get home. It has been a living nightmare. We still have no mailbox to get our mail. I know taxes come out. I haven't got mine. I don't know if I ever will. We did get garbage picked up finally. There's way too much construction going on to consider this to be far from safe. Okay, let's talk about my trees, which you guys are going to be seeing a picture go around. My trees are going to die because the excavator damaged the roots. When roots get damaged, the tree can no longer transport nutrients or water, causing the roots to slowly decompose over time. I was told today by Peter Zubek that one of my trees possibly is a heritage tree. The ordinance 18302 states an arborist needs to be on site when excavators are involved. There was no arborist when this happened. A stop order needs to be put in place until this issue is dissolved. Steve is well aware that he has killed our trees. He has told us twice that he knew he killed our trees, and that's the contractor. Now let's talk about our fence and driveway. Steve is also aware of the damage to our fence and the problems associated with our driveway. We need answers on who is responsible for all the damages we have suffered through because of Love's Truck Stop. We did not ask for this, and we should not be responsible for damages caused by improper planning. Now I'd like to touch on Ordinance 14-17.21, Signs Regulation. On page 207 and page 209, there are ordinances, regulations that I believe are being violated. So I am asking you that you look at the sign that Love's has put up and make sure that it conforms to the city ordinances. Now, I have saved the best for last. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the people at St. Peter's Neighborhood Cleanup, Waste Management, all the police officers, the explorers, the CERT members, all the volunteers, all the people and organizations that donated prizes and provided donuts, drinks, and pizza, and also a big shout out to Councilwoman Susie Ibarra for also joining in a fun-filled, productive day picking up garbage. I also won some very cool prizes, so that really made it even better. We also attended ribbon cutting after picking up garbage at the Rock and Roll Museum with Councilwoman Ibarra. I had champagne and cheesecake that just melted in my mouth. The scaffolding was ugly to see, though. It's been there forever. Is it ever going to come down? We also attended the festival Friday night at City Center and ate at Richardson, which was very yummy. My favorite car was Betty Boop, but there were so many others that caught my eye. It was really a lot of fun. I'm really excited for the summer to have a place in Joliet to gather and enjoy activities in the new City Center. Can't wait to see the dome done and attend the celebration. At this moment, I would like to thank everyone that has put in all the time and effort to make this dream for the City Center to become a reality. I believe the City Center is going to be a great asset to the city, and you're going to see a lot of people having a lot of fun. It will be a terrific meeting place. I hope everyone checks out all the activities that are planned. I'm definitely planning on going to see the Righteous Hillbillies. We can bring lawn chairs, can't we? Or blankets? All right, thanks. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
I just want to thank you for listening to our concerns about our areas and our neighborhoods. I think the city's come a long way as far as its growth potential and growing, but I do think we need to go back to looking at our city services, our neighborhood services. There are a huge amount of abandoned cars. There are a huge amount of people with a lot of junk and garbage in their yards and in our neighborhoods is bringing down values. There's a huge amount of people who are not maintaining to walk down the street, and you have to push trees out of your way because you can't use the street. We need to go back and get neighborhood services to come through our neighborhoods again like they used to. We used to see them at least once a month, sometimes twice. I haven't seen one out there unless we've called them. And I'd like to see that become a bigger and better program for the city so that we can keep maintaining our growth and the happiness of our people. Thank you.
I would like to thank you too for your consideration in our area. I would like to see a traffic study done up there though, and we will continue to work with the new business and try to solve some problems. Also, you put these nice little bricks up by our houses. My yard is full of snakes. I can sit out there, all the people, there's snakes all over the place. Why can't you go back to the concrete walls that we used to have? You've got snake motels all over, and they're starting to fall over. A lot of the places, that my wall had to be refixed. So I wish somebody would do some consideration, because I don't like the snakes. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
Oh God, what a night. I don't know how to top it all, but, you know, when I heard last night, oh God, it talks about the panhandlers out on the Joliet streets. You know, I pity for them. I understand quite a few of them have their bad habits, drug habits and everything, but you think they want to be out there doing that? They don't want to be out there doing that, and everybody says, oh, they try to help them, get them in the shelters. Well, I wanted to tell you all, shelters are not the best place on the planet. I don't want to ever go to shelter because they're terrible. You know, when you think shelters are heaven, and no, they're not, because, you know, when they get you up at 6 in the morning, throw you out in the street, you got to stay on that street all day, and you don't get to come back to the shelter till maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and you got to be in bed by 9. Well, a lot of people, you know, can't go to bed at night. They can't just, you know, shun their minds off and go to sleep. You know, we're not robots. A lot of people don't like shelters, and that's why a lot of people choose to just stay on the street and live and be homeless. It's because the rules of shelters are just plain ridiculous. They're, you know, like I said, they treat you like a robot. They expect you to live like a robot. And, you know, you're expected to sleep there with strangers sitting right there next to you sleeping. People you don't know who they are, you don't know their bad habits, or they're snoring, or they stink and that. Who wants that? Therefore, I think the whole dilemma about, you know, shelters is getting over it. You know, you guys need to understand how bad shelters are. They're not heaven. You know, and I've been homeless the 3rd time in my life, twice by development, in which this last time has lasted forever here. You know, it's not a place that anybody wants to be, is be homeless. You know, we need more, I don't know, more funds to go for funding homeless people, because if we could have everything else be built and everything for everybody else and everything, you know, we need more homeless shelters and everything for homeless people, because homeless, you know, people are being put in motels and everything now, because there's just, the housing is not there. Affordable housing, as we know, is not there for us poor people, or us disabled people. SSI simply just does not pay enough to live on, no matter what. You know, I suffer in, you know, for every day. You know, I struggle to, why should I get up in the morning, let alone try to get to sleep at night and everything. No matter how many sleeping pills I take, you know, just try to get to sleep. Let alone when I do get to sleep, I'm thinking, why do I want to get up? What am I going to do? I don't have my life anymore to go outside and look at my flowers. You know, when I go to the store and see flowers at the stores, and I cry because I don't have my flowers anymore. I don't have, you know, I don't have my mom's property to treasure anymore and do my things anymore. And, you know, here in Dick's Sports, you know, one thing that hit me with Dick's Sports thing here, when they're talking about baseball card collection, you know, card collection. You know, they talked about that one card that they had, thinking they was worth a lot. Well, I have my own baseball card, sport card collection, which of course I lost because of Whimsy Trucking taking everything I had from me. And I had one of these rarest cards and most expensive, you know, the most expensive card in the country and in the world, one of those rare Honus Wagner cards. On eBay, you know, over $7 million card, as well as my Michael Jordan rookie cards and all my other top player sport rookie cards. I had it all, but I lost it all because of development. So, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to mayor and council comments.
Caesar. I'm gonna keep it long and brief. No, I just want to congratulate the city on it was a great weekend with Thursday kicking off the big house game at the prison, which was a great experience, and it was cool to see Bill Murray walking around, also visiting a few of the businesses. So it was just exciting to see all this going on in Joliet this past week, and it kicked off the 100-year anniversary red carpet corridor for Route 66. We've seen a lot of people from outside of Joliet that obviously been visiting the city. On Saturday, I was able to attend the Route 66 100th anniversary telegraph ball in Springfield, Missouri, where Joliet was also represented as one of the satellite cities for this Route 66 kickoff. You know, Joliet right now is really setting the standard on the map, or setting its place on the map for Route 66, and we're getting a lot of international travelers and stuff that are coming through here. So that was exciting. It was cool to see the Rialto also had a really big event. So they had I think they were saying about 1,000 people that came through the Rialto on Sunday, which also activated our city square, and it was great to see that. We had our first event with the Sounds on 66 in partnership with the City Center Partnership, which was also great to see. So it's just good to see that finally the square is open and is being utilized, and see the excitement on people's faces as they're approaching the square is really cool. And then lastly, just thanking, the museum also opened up the doors so that the youth baseball league on the east side of Joliet was able to have a whole day of baseball on Saturday to experience being able to play on those fields. There's a league that's been around for about 50 years in Joliet that also got to experience it on Sunday. So a lot of families that haven't had a chance yet or have not attended any events at the prison were there for the first time from the east side of Joliet, and they got to experience the prison while the kids were playing, parents were touring, so everything was still open. So that was just really exciting to see. So just really seeing these spaces activated and the community taking advantage of it was really cool and having it. So just thank you to all the staff and everyone that's had a part in and just kind of keeping Joliet exciting. So thank you. Those are my comments.
Mayor, I'm going to let you handle the all the big events. It was a busy few weeks, so yeah, I'm going to pass.
Can I have one more real quick? Happy Mother's Day.
I can't forget that one.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. That's all I have, Mayor.
So I just want to say that $100 million in community benefits from the data center agreement is brilliant. That's a lot of money, but I'm respectfully asking for some care, concern, and equity for District 5, particularly the East Side. The East Side constituents would really like a grocery store, but all of my constituents in District 5 would like great sidewalks, amazing roads, family-friendly economic development. District 5 definitely needs some equity, so I'm respectfully asking for that. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My mother is amazing. Not only an amazing mom, an amazing human being, and has a million talents, including crafting, cooking, baking. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in the city of Joliet. Lastly, the city of Joliet has had 2 brutally violent murders in the last 3 days. 2 young lives cut short with these violent acts, and I'm asking for a moment of silence out of respect for the families. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to say one more thing to our city manager, who this week has gone above and beyond, including everything that she did for the agreement. I had 2 really pressing issues that were lingering on forever, and I've gotten as far as I could get with staff. She promptly did above and beyond what was expected of her, so thank you.
Hey, Beth, I just had a question. Is there a way that we can possibly get into a intergovernmental agreement with ComEd or of some sort, or just kind of bring them to the table? I know some of the streetlights in our neighborhoods throughout the whole city, and I know Krista has been helping me out a lot, answer every question. She puts in the tickets, so thank you. But ComEd takes months to take care of these, and obviously it's not their top priority, but I know it's mine, and I'm sure the city council can join me on that, and the mayor. So maybe we can get them to the table, whereas an agreement where, hey, we'll fix them, send them the bill or something. I don't know, just an idea. So
I'm happy to try to get him in here to talk to everybody. I mean, your struggles are my struggles, and all of us that try to work with ComEd. I mean, all departments do, and it's the reaction time isn't what we'd hope. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Thank
we
you.
need to do something.
As already announced by others, the staff, I don't know how many of the staff, but I saw lots of staff everywhere from the baseball game to all the events downtown this past weekend. Thank you for everything that you did there. I'd like to obviously say Happy Mother's Day also. But the Friday, May 1st, actually started with me, for me, the second graduation from the fire academy. So a couple years ago, they had a large class. They had another large class this past Friday, and I'd like to read the names of the 9 new firemen that we have now. Tyler Gannon, Dakota Meeks, Jordan Brown, Donald Katz, Ariel Ruiz, Ryan Bangigan, Sean Florian, who was the valedictorian, Davis McAuliffe, and Marcus Stone, who was awarded the leader of the class. Great-looking bunch of guys. Chief, congratulations on doing a great job. The back of the program probably has 40, 50 maybe, firefighters who volunteered to help the training. So it was a great opportunity for all these guys to meet a number of the other firemen, and I'm sure it'll be great for the city of Joliet. That's it.
I'm up? Okay. I attended many events this week. The Thursday was the ball game, and it was rainy and cold, but a lot of people had a lot of fun out there, and that was good to see that so crowded. We live 15 minutes from the park. It took us over an hour to get home that night because of all the people that were here to see that game. It was amazing. Friday night was wonderful downtown at the car show, and the band was wonderful. It was the big kickoff for the city square. Sunday, the Rialto was fabulous, great for the kids. They had a magician there, they had a balloon maker, and they had all kinds of activities for them. And for everyone else, they could take a tour and even go downstairs where all the signatures were from all the stars that have been at the Rialto Square Theater over 100 years. It was great. And then it was topped off by the movie Cars, which is a Disney movie. And to see all these little ones, I was there with my nephew. He's 3 years old, and he was just having a great time. He just couldn't believe it, but the thing was, he was scared of the organ. It was so loud that day. He stops the usher and says, "It's too loud. It's just too loud." It was really funny. So anyway, we had a good time anyway. And I want to wish not only Mother's Day to all the moms, but to all the aunts and grandmas that step in to be aunts, to be moms.
Happy Mother's Day. We celebrated my mom's 100th birthday on April 18th. It was great. Had her family in. Let's see. We went to the Arbor Day celebration with the Lynn Thigpen Elementary School. It was really a lot of fun. I just love being around those little kids, the energy and everything. So Jan, Sherry, Pat, myself enjoyed that day. We also kicked off the redo of the West Side Library, which was another good event. I mean, it's so neat to be back in that building, and you look out the back window onto the Forest Preserve, and it's just a great spot. The next thing that I think is really cool, so we talk about great things happening in Joliet, and Brian Udovich has got this show, American Blues, happening. It brought a lot of energy, and this is just a shot of them working. I think that might be Bluff Street one morning, but a really cool picture that Brian took from across the river at sunrise from Bluff Street of St. Joe's Church. Let's throw that one up there. When I show that to people, I said, what city in Europe do you think that is? That's really cool. That's our St. Joe's Church. Let's see, we also, obviously, the Big House ball game last Thursday, we had some special coaching out there. We had a celebrity coach on first base. Look at that guy. 14 again.
Nice legs.
Yeah. It was a great event, you know, and Bill Murray was so gracious. He spent all of his time just talking to people, signing autographs, taking pictures. He actually spent a couple extra days in town. I think he really starting to like Joliet. So it was cool to have this event, and it showed what we can do when we work together. So that was neat. Over 5,000 people enjoyed that day. A little rainy, but still a great day. Everybody's famous for 10 seconds, so mine was when the guy hit me in the belt with the baseball. I pitched it. I didn't think he'd hit it, neither did he, and luckily it hit me in the belt. So it didn't hurt. But it was fun. I mean, and all these reporters are great. They really brought a lot of positivity to Joliet. So it was fun to have that event, and we thank everybody that worked so hard to put that on. So then we talk about the city square opening up, and you know, what a wonderful opportunity for the city to come together in a center. This is the lighthouse of the city now. So this is what combines all the neighborhoods of Joliet. You know, until you have something like this, you have a bunch of neighborhoods. But now we have a place that we can all join together, enjoy each other from one end of the town to the other. That young lady that did that, Angelica Crystal. That's so cool what you do with that bench. That's the back end of an old Dodge pickup truck, and it's just neat to see the talent we have in our community here. Also today we started the installation, or yesterday, of the sculpture in City Square. And Shija Chin has just got such cool energy. And while I was there, some of the teachers from Joliet Central came over that were super excited. And when we open this and we dedicate this in June, we want all those high school kids back that were a real part of making the magic of this sculpture for the city. And it's going to be a wonderful, it's going to be the being of Chicago here in Joliet. We're going to have people leave Chicago to come down here and see this. So that's all I've got. God bless everyone, and happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.